Hey everybody, Andrew here, and welcome to the Sportimus Radio Show, Episode 3. I hope you all enjoyed the Super Bowl. Those of you who enjoyed the Super Bowl, go Seahawks. That was a surprise win, I'll say. They totally destroyed the Broncos, as we all know. I was expecting a whole lot better play from them, to be honest with you, but we all saw what we saw, and the Seahawks definitely won that game, so good for them. Anyway, moving on. I hope everyone had a good couple of weeks since the last show. And as far as purchases go for me, I got a few things this time. One of them being the Lego Movie The Flying Flusher. Really good set. I have recorded a review of it, and I will have it up on YouTube either Monday or Tuesday. Hopefully I'll have it on Monday at the soonest, so I'm working hard on that. I got some Transformers as well, which is good news finally. I got the Armada Starscream, I've got the Deluxe Scoop, so that's 2 figures under my belt finally this year. Yes! Whether I'll review them, I'm pretty sure I will. I'm just trying to get everything organized, and as soon as I do, they'll be up on YouTube as well. So there'll definitely be reviews coming up very shortly. So stay tuned for that. I'm very excited to finally find some new stuff on store shelves. So that's great. It's really great. They're a little slow, unfortunately, but new products are finally starting to show up. So yeah. And I got some Marvel Legends, but I don't think I'm going to be doing any reviews of those anymore because I just don't get enough views for them. That's pretty much it for my purchases in the last 2 weeks. But some interesting stuff has happened in between then and now. And one of them is the first edition leader class Optimus Prime. Now, I almost bought that thing, but to be honest with you, for $60, I just can't do it. And the reason why is because it's a really bad figure. Really bad toy. Just to remind you guys, this is just my own opinion. If you like it, I'm not trying to insult you or hurt your feelings or make you mad or anything like that. If you like the first edition leader class Age of Extinction Optimus Prime, good for you. Honestly, I'm glad for you, and I hope you enjoy him, and I'm not trying to spoil your fun. But this is just my honest opinion. I don't think it's a good toy. Especially for $60. And I've watched plenty of reviews of him by various reviewers, and they all say the same thing, that it's not worth buying for $60, and yet they bought him for $60. There's some figures that are really so bad, or they're so overpriced, that you might want to reconsider buying it, because I think it's important to spend your money wisely. And that's one of the good things about doing reviews, is that you get to watch people, and you want to pick the people, whether it's me or anybody else, it doesn't matter, who give reviews that are not biased, and they don't give any kind of excuses or reasons to get it anyway, if you know what I mean by that. I just don't see it. I will do, probably, a review of Age of Extinction Optimus Prime, the first edition, but I'm not going to do it like they did. And it might be upsetting to some people because I'm going to review it without actually having the toy. Weird, probably, but if I do that review, I'll explain why. And it's that, I'm okay with Hasbro making transformations simpler and trying to appeal to the younger kids. That's cool. That's totally fine by me. I'm some of the movie toys in the past have been so ridiculously complex that there's no way a 5, 6, or 7-year-old could possibly transform those things. They're just going to give it to their parents and say, hey, can you help me with this? Make him into a robot or make him into a car. And even they're going to have a hard time because, they're not used to doing things like that. So I can understand Hasbro wanting to make things a little bit easier for them. But at the same time, I think they went too far. I think they got way too carried away in the opposite direction. And the result is the first edition Optimus Prime. And oh my goodness. The thing looks like a giant Happy Meal toy. I just can't deal with it. And I want to like the guy. I mean, I'm glad that they gave him chrome and things like that. But even that they messed up on because they put a lot of the chrome in all the wrong places. But I'll get into that if I do a review on it or not. But honestly, I mean, if you like the thing, great. Again, totally cool. But for me, I just think there's a lot better options out there for the money. And there's a lot of Generations toys coming out this year that are going to be so much better. So much better. And I'm hoping that the Voyager Optimus Prime and the Grimlock figures and all that, I hope they'll be better than what we see in the first edition Prime. I really do. I'm still trying to be optimistic about the Age of Extinction toys. And I'm not knocking the line. I'm just talking about that particular figure. That's all I'm saying. Speaking of Age of Extinction, we saw a really cool teaser clip of the movie during the Super Bowl. And Grimlock looks freaking awesome. If Hasbro could pull off a Grimlock that looks close to that of the CGI movie model, that would be so cool. Oh my goodness. That would be a killer Grimlock. That would be a killer Grimlock. And I think there's going to be a leader class Grimlock if I remember correctly. I know there's going to be a Voyager one, and there's going to be a Voyager Optimus Prime in the Age of Extinction toy line. So I'm optimistic about those two at the very least. And it's going to be an interesting movie to say the least. It's going in a bit of a different direction. And I think the movie deserves a fair chance. I think this one, they're trying something new, and I think it deserves, an open mind. So I'm really excited about that movie. This is going to be a really cool summer. You got Age of Extinction coming out. You got Spider-Man 2. You've got Captain America. It's going to be a good summer. Really looking forward to those movies. And speaking of movies again, Lego movie. It's kind of a weird feeling being an adult going to see a movie like that. But to be honest with you, I really enjoyed it. It was a really good movie. And I'm not going to spoil anything. I'm not going to talk about it other than the fact that everything was awesome. And I'm really glad for Lego because I think it's a great toy line. I really love Legos. I have been a Lego fan since I was a teeny tiny boy. I mean, I got my first Duplo set, and I haven't stopped since. Well, I haven't stopped since, but I took a break during college because I had college tuition, and I was a poor college student back then. The things I needed was food, shelter, and pay for school. So, and being able to buy a tank of gas every now and then. So, luxuries like collecting toys had to take a hiatus, had to take a break for a while. There were no Legos for me, but I never stopped liking Legos. I always thought it was a great toy line. It was very imaginative. You've got all sorts of themes you can choose from, and they're always coming up with new things. They're always reinventing themselves. And I also love the Lego games on Xbox, the Star Wars series, the Indiana Jones Lego, the Batman Lego games. Those are so much fun. I mean, this brand is just, you know, it's geared for kids, but it's also fun for us big kids, us grown-ups who still like to be a kid in a way. So The only problem with the only problem with Legos is that they take up a lot of room. I have to tear down a lot of sets in order to keep things under control, and even that, I have to be careful how many sets I buy and so on and so forth because they definitely take up a lot more space than Transformers and action figures and things like that. But it's a great toy line, and you can do just about anything with them. So fantastic. And the Flying Flusher, I love that set. It's a 2-in-1 set. Whole lot of fun. I mean, it's just great. Just a great line. And I highly recommend it. I might get the police car, and I think I might get the dump truck as well. That thing's pretty sick looking. For a dump truck, not dump truck, garbage truck. What am I saying? The green one, the garbage truck. It's kind of interesting. So I'm really excited about that. And like I said earlier, we're getting a whole bunch of Generations toys, and one of them, which was a surprise for me because somehow I missed the boat last year because it was announced in October, but somehow it slipped through the cracks. But basically, what I'm saying is we are getting a leader class Jetfire. Leader class Jetfire. And the pictures were leaked on Saturday night. And that leader Jetfire looks gorgeous. It looks awesome. The thing is exactly Jetfire. I mean, it's just perfect. It's beautiful. It's probably one of the best leader class toys from Transformers I have seen in a long time. And we've gotten some we've gotten some good ones. But this one is definitely one of the best ones we have gotten. And it just looks fantastic. Don't get me wrong, I have the original Generation 1 Jetfire, which is a great toy. He's a chunky monkey, but he's a great figure. Lots of die cast. Love that toy. He was one of my favorite Transformers during my childhood. And I took him everywhere. He's no longer white. He's kind of yellowish now because he's been indoors and outdoors and everywhere else in between. He was one of my favorite Transformer toys that I played with. So he got a lot of love and a lot of use. And it was great getting the Classics Voyager Jetfire, which is really not a bad figure. He's a little bit back heavy, but otherwise, I really like it. I think it's a cool toy. Now, he doesn't have the greatest transformation in the world, but I just really like it. I'm not going to get rid of him, but I'll tell you, the leader class Jetfire that's coming out this year is leaps and bounds better than the Classics Voyager one that we got, I think, 2006 or 2007? Back then, basically. Well, he was hard to find then and pretty expensive, I guess, to find now, but he's not that bad, but the leader class is just so much better. So that's probably the biggest news that we've gotten in the last 2 weeks is leader class Jetfire. Plus, we're getting leader class Megatron in the Generations line. I have no idea what alt form he's getting or whether or not they're going to base him off the Generation 1 toy loosely or whether they're going to make him into a tank of some kind. But we'll see. The only thing that I'm surprised about and kind of disappointed is if we're getting such a big Megatron, it's too bad we're not getting a larger Optimus Prime for the Generations line. I love the Voyager Optimus Prime, but compared to some of the other Voyagers, he's kind of short. Just my opinion, but being the leader of the Autobots, I think he should be a little bit taller. And especially since we're getting a leader class Megatron, I'd like to see an Optimus Prime that can at least come close to matching Megatron's height. We're not getting a leader Optimus Prime, unfortunately, but I'm hoping that Hasbro surprises us with one soon. And hopefully it won't be, how do I say this delicately, as bad as Age of Extinction leader Optimus Prime, which is basically a shell former. I just can't Oh, I gotta move on. I can't. Oh, my head. I gotta erase that image out of my mind with the top off and he's just sitting there in his truck mode. Whew, that's bad. There's a lot of other Generations toys coming out, but that Jetfire and probably the Megatron are perhaps the biggest news so far. We're also getting Hardhead, I think, and Roadbuster, so those should be interesting as well. Oh, and we're getting Legends Gears as well. You know he's going to be a retool of the Legends Swerve, so if you like Swerve, you might like Gears as well. And no, the Generations line is not going to be like the Age of Extinction simplification. So if you're worried about future Generations figures being done, I shouldn't use that word, I'm sorry, simplified like Age of Extinction toys, they won't be. They'll still have, it's going to be a separate line and it's still going to be interesting with good transformations and the way it always has been, basically. So don't worry about the Generations line becoming simpler. It's just mostly with, I guess, some of the Age of Extinction toys, but not all of them. We'll see. We are getting simplified versions of Beast Hunters toys, such as Smokescreen and some of the Beasts as well. I haven't seen them yet. I don't know if they're out yet, but there have been some that have reviewed these figures. I'm not gonna. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna buy them or not. They are simplified. They look okay. I just think that Hasbro needs to find a good balance between making it simple but not making it look bad. So I want a good looking alt mode and good looking robot mode, and somehow working in a transformation that is not overly complex but not ridiculously simple. Because I like a little challenge. That's just me, I guess. We still haven't gotten any pictures of Ultra Magnus in the Masterpiece line, and we still haven't gotten any info on Bumblebee in the Masterpiece line either. So who knows? I don't know whether they're going to make him into like the penny racer that he was, or they're going to stick with a more accurate VW design. Who knows? But I would really like to see some more info on that. I know I mentioned that last week, but it's already February. Time is flying by pretty quickly, so hopefully we'll get something maybe this month or March that gives us more of an idea of what Ultra Magnus and Bumblebee will look like and so on. But a Wheeljack is turning out to be really nice. Check out your local stores for the Generations Armada Starscream and Scoop and other figures as well, because they are trickling in. If I found them, I'm sure you can find them as well. And that's about it for this episode. And again, you can follow me on Twitter, Sportimus Prime. Follow me on Facebook, Sportimus Prime. And of course, subscribe and like my channel and my videos on YouTube, which is, of course, Sportimus. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.